morning, lovelies. Today we are following up my video on toxic male characters in science fiction and fantasy with a video on toxic female characters in SFF. Now why 6 toxic female characters and not 10? Well, the truth is I couldn't find any more. Not from the media that I have seen anyway. And then I went online as I hit 5 and 6 and I was just like, okay, toxic female characters in science fiction and fantasy. I'm sure I've missed something. But they were all from shows and movies that I have never seen. Some chick from the Vampire Diaries popped up a few times. I refuse to talk about media that I personally have not seen and read because I would like to at least pretend that I know what I'm talking about. So we've only got 6 girls on our list today. I do apologize for that. Please feel free to add more in the comments. If it's a story that I've actually seen or read, I will discuss. I'm sure that immediately after I post this video, I'm going to think oh, wait, shit, that girl from that thing, should have added her. It happens all the time. On to the bitch list. Number 1, Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones. Low-hanging fruit, I know, but you just cannot have this list without her. She's just the worst. Backstabbing, manipulative, convinces her brother/lover to try to kill a child to keep their affair a secret. Their affair, by the way, which is destroying Westeros from the inside out and is single-handedly responsible for the War of the Five Kings. And then she gets worse somehow when she becomes queen. Number 2, Catra from She-Ra and the Princess of Power. Okay, first of all, if you haven't seen this show, do it. Catra is Adora's childhood friend turned enemy turned girlfriend. She gets a full redemption arc. It's a little rushed in my opinion, but it is complete. While she was Adora's enemy though, from season 1 to halfway through season 5, she was poison. This is best seen through her interactions with Scorpia, who absolutely adores Catra, and she gets bullied, abused, and even physically threatened for her troubles. Catra's other underlings get similar treatment. She doesn't care if they get hurt or killed when she sends them out on missions, and if they fail, she punishes them even more. Catra is a really great example of how toxicity hurts not only those around you, but also yourself. Her behavior isolates her from everyone around her, puts herself in terrible danger, and forces her to handle problems by herself when she could have had a bunch of friends help her out. Her character also demonstrates how you can also step back, make amends for the people you've hurt, and turn a new leaf. Unlike the next girl on our list, Azula from Avatar: Last Airbender. Yet another show you should watch. I feel even worse for her than I do for Catra, because Catra at least got better. Azula was driven completely insane because her toxic behavior turned into full-blown paranoia. Now Azula is an interesting example of how someone can be groomed for toxic behavior. While the paranoia was going overboard, the way she was before that was exactly how Ozai wanted her. He trained her to be that way. His impossible standards of perfection were already super damaging, driving a wedge between her and her brother and giving her perfectionist issues. And then he teaches her that the only way she can connect with people is if she controls them. We see this in the beach episode where she just completely fails to connect with her peers when she's not fighting them. It's sad. And then earlier, when she's collecting a team to hunt down Zuko and the Avatar, she has to threaten one of them into compliance. That's not how friends work. But let's not give Ozai all the blame here. Zuko's his kid too. They both made their decisions. Number 4, Bella from Twilight. If your girlfriend puts herself in increasingly dangerous situations just so you'll pay attention to her, culminating in an attempted suicide, that's a problem. I get that she's a teenager and they tend to be a very overly dramatic bunch, but Jesus, get a life! Your whole world should not revolve around some other person, even if that is a romantic partner. It's not healthy. Number 5, everyone played by Jessica Lange in American Horror Story. Lange is an amazing actress. I loved seeing her on screen. But God, the people she plays are horrible! They're emotionally abusive, manipulative, selfish. Most, if not all of them, are outright murderers. Some of them are even mothers, and it's like the playbook of how not to be a parent. No doubt as to why most of them are villains. And number 6, Aelin from Throne of Glass. Spoilers for the entire Throne of Glass series, by the way. Now, I should have had her partner Rowan on the toxic male character list, but I didn't because I'm an idiot and I didn't think of it until after I had published that video. My bad, and I guarantee it's gonna happen again with this one. Aelin starts out okay in the first couple of books. And then book 3 comes along. She is super depressed because her best friend got murdered in the last book. That is understandable. But she takes all of her anger out on Rowan, which is not understandable. They are vicious to each other, insulting. They both say that it's better if the other one was dead, emotionally abusive, even physically assaulting each other. And we're supposed to believe that this is building sexual tension? Apparently so, because in the next book they start a romantic relationship. Now the relationship with Rowan does get better once they start boning, which is an issue all in itself because hey, it's fine, sex solves everything. What does not get better is Aelin's treatment of some of her friends, and I especially want to shout out her cousin Aileen here. At the end of book 5, Aelin has been captured, and it's revealed that she anticipated something like this happening and so convinced her shapeshifter friend Lysandra to take her place, because at this point Aelin is a big player. If she goes missing, that's going to set back the war effort so much so it makes sense to have this shapeshifter look like her to take her place. Politically, smart move. But they don't tell anyone about this. And it is specifically stated that if Aelin's disappearance goes on long enough for people to question why this queen hasn't had an heir yet, Lysandra was to sleep with Aelin, Aelin's cousin who looks like her, to get that heir. And Aelin had no idea until after Aelin was gone. So he's pissed both at Lysandra and Aelin, but his anger is treated as like this thing that he has to get over so he can start a romantic relationship with Lysandra. And I'm just like, no, like, I don't even think the two apologized to him for, roping him into a plan that would involve him having sex against his will. Did they apologize? I gave away the book, so I can't check to be sure. Apparently, Sarah J. Maas's other series, A Court of Thorn and Roses, is even worse with its Mary Sue, its main character. I haven't read it yet, and I don't intend to, because it has a full-blown assault in it, and I don't need to read that. Throne of Glass is one of those series where I thought it was great the first time I read it, but then I read it again, and I was just like, nope. So those are 6 toxic female characters in science fiction and fantasy. Share yours in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe. And if you can, join us on Patreon. That link is in the description. Bye, lovelies.